Hello, is it visible? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay, today we are going to talk about the supercharging and turbocharging. Okay, last classes we have discussed about SI engine combustion, C engine combustion, fuel engine system, and the electronic fuel engine system also we have seen it. Now we are seeing this is called little bit increasing of thermal efficiency and performance of the engine to be adding of additional thing while going for the air inside the engine or mixture inside the engine. And here we are seeing one picture that is called, now body additional arrangement is seen here. This is then called roots supercharger. The roots blower or vanes blower or some blower is connected here. This is an additional part we are going to see for engine. This total engine is seeing it here, a single cylinder engine. We can have the piston and cooling system. You can see the two valves, inlet valve and exhaust valve. Mainly, we know that inlet valve will be main purpose of it is to, if it is a diesel engine, air will be entered here. If it is a petrol engine, charge will be entered from here. And whatever the charge is entering here, that charge should be pressurized, getting of more pressure, increasing of the pressure through using of the roots blower or vanes blower or a turbocharger. Something will be additionally connected here. And before the, here we have a carburetor. Carburetor will mixing the fuel and air mixture, and that mixture will be going inside the engine and getting it will compressed here because of the adding of the additional pressure. You know the function of the roots blower, vane blower, and all, it blows the air because more like a cooler. Cooler, how it takes the air from the surround and it blows it to the inside the house. Some of coolers may be having fan, some coolers may be having blowers. The blower will blows the air. This is the roots blower, will blows the air. We have the two rotors will be there. In this, we have a small space will be there, and whatever air is entered, that air will be again in a compressed and blown inside the inside the inlet valve. This is the inlet valve. Whenever the inlet valve will opens, you know the function of it. Intake stroke. In intake stroke, what happens? Piston will be going down from TDC to BDC, and the time whatever the compressor air or compressor mixture, homogeneous mixture will be here in this picture. We have a petrol engine and we have a SI engine, spark ignition engine. The mixture will be entered through this roots blower or roots supercharger, and this once it is entered it will be already having the pressure and temperature, and again we have going the piston from the BDC to DC in second position compression stroke. Valve will be reducing, two valves will be closed, and the ending of the compression we are going to give the spark. Okay, in this is the combustion chamber where we are going to see it. In this combustion chamber, where we are going to give the spark. Because of the spark, we are going to get the blasting. This power stroke will be happening. Because of the blast, the piston will be going down forcefully and the crank will be rotated. This is the power stroke we call it as, or combustion stroke we are going to call it. And the piston will be automatically comes down to the TDC to BDC position. Once it comes to the BDC position, again you are pushing it to the top, and this here where exhaust valve will open and exhaust gases will be pushed over the piston. Exhaust valves will be operated with a rocker arrangement, and these are the spring-loaded valve arrangement. And you have this is a camshaft where we are going to see it. And in the design, different designs, we are going to have the spark plug location will be there and different heads. This is a high head engine, but the spark location is different. Why means because we have roots blower will be attached here, and additional thing is required for operating of the inlet valve and exhaust valves. And this rocker arms and push rods will help you to operate with a cam arrangement. Whenever the cam knife head follower will comes, automatically it opens it and slowly it will be closes it. This will be operating with a camshaft and crankshaft. Engine will be having a crankshaft and camshaft. Crankshaft is the real power developed by the engine, and crankshaft and camshaft will be the exactly half of it. Because suppose the crankshaft speed is 100 1000 rpm, and your camshaft speed will be 500 rpm, because it operates the valves arrangements, and we have the injection timings and everything will be operating with this camshaft. Okay, this is about the in a four stroke, and we are going to have this in a roots blower. How the roots blower or whatever the blower additional part by adding for a supercharging or turbocharging of the engine. Just I have shown the figure. Now we are going to the description. I hope you got the idea how the superchargers or turbochargers is connected to the engine. Actually, the engines are naturally aspirated engines because we don't have some few engines will not have, basic engines will not have a turbocharger or supercharger. Whenever you want to enhance the thermal efficiency of the engine power and efficiency will be increasing by adding of the supercharger or turbocharger. The power output of naturally aspirated engine depends on amount of air inducted into the cylinder. How much air we are going to send inside the cylinder, that is the amount of air, and extent utilization of the inducted air, and whatever the air is entering inside the cylinder, that to be utilized properly, completely it will be utilized, and the air will be completely burnt. Air and fuel will be burnt, then only you will get a good combustion. Because if you want to have a good combustion, percentage of oxygen percentage is very much required. Uh, the speed of the engine. Sarthak, any problem?
No, sir.
Is it clear only? No, audio is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything is clear, sir.
Okay. The basically amount of air inducted into the cylinder and whatever the air is entering from the inlet valve, that air will have, if you are traveling in a clean environment, you may get very good noise, very good combustion because the oxygen percentage in the air is more. If the oxygen percentage is more and combustion percentage is also more. Suppose you are traveling inside the city and all, a lot of things and all, clean air may not be there, and whatever air is available around of it, and you are going to get it. Suppose you are going a polluted area, you will get suffocated and you don't get a good oxygen because you also feels very bad and immediately you will go to the good environment for getting of a comfort. The same engine also will be breathing. But whenever the engine is traveling in a polluted area and oxygen percentage is less, combustion is also less. Because of that, a lot of unburnt hydrocarbons are available, and that leads the problem of what we talked about, knocking, detonation, and a lot of things will be happening. It. Suppose the oxygen percentage is good in the air and combustion is also good. Then same extent utilization of the inducted air, the speed of the engine, because how much speed you are going, how much load you are going, that also depends upon your engine and how much acceleration you are giving and all. And quality of the fuel admitted into the combustion characteristics, whatever the quality of the fuel. Fuel is also important while talking about the quality, uh, because in the quality of the fuel is basically you have cetane number, octane number, and fuel also will be without contamination. The fuel should be available, and the good petrol or good diesel is required. Very good cetane number or octane number, and good ratings is required. The quality of the fuel is good, quality of the air is good, and combustion is perfect. Combustion is 100%. But basically, what happens? Some problem because of this thing. Where we are going to get quality of fuel, getting up the quality of air. These two are very important to increase the efficiency of the engine. That's why thermal efficiency of the engine to be increased. What we have is we have an additional method. We are going to start with the called supercharger or turbocharger of the engine. And we have seen the figure. There were additional component will be arranged to the inlet manifold. Here, the inlet manifold, whatever the mixture or homogeneous air or mixture will be entering into the inlet chamber. Before that, we are going to superheat it, supercharging it by using of a additional blower, additional component. We are going to see seen here, and that additional arrangement will use the pressure and temperature will increasing. The most preferred method for increasing the power output is by increasing the mean effective pressure, that is the supply of air fuel mixture at pressure higher than the atmospheric pressure. Whatever the naturally aspirated engine atmospheric pressure, and by adding of the supercharger, we are additionally increasing the pressure and temperature and sending inside the engine and getting for improving of the engine efficiency or complete combustion. And the method will be having what we have is increasing the pressure. One thing is if you add a supercharger, it increases the pressure and density also will be increasing. Density of the fuel also will be increasing. increasing mass flow of airflow, mass of air will be increasing. One is increasing of pressure because of the roots will be there inside the supercharger, and roots will be taking the mixture or air and increases the pressure, and it will be having a narrow passages will be there because of the roots. We have pressure will be increasing, and density of the fuel also will be increasing if it is a mixture, and increasing mass flow of the air, increasing of oxygen content. This I told already. Whenever you are traveling in a clean environment, you are getting more good oxygen, and you will get a good sound also. Engine sound also very good. You may be observed it in all while traveling the clean environment in the forest areas, particularly. You are going a more speed also. Your engine is very smooth and very good noise will be coming. Very smooth noise is coming, where you have a good oxygen percentage in the air and getting of a good combustion. And because if you have a good fuel and good pressure, good density, then you are going to get the better combustion. If you have a better combustion, means complete combustion will be there, then you are going to get the good power. Because of the power, the shaft will move very fast, and you are going to have very good, better performance in thermal performance of the engine, thermal efficiency of the engine. Okay, one is pressure, density, then increasing mass flow rate of air, increasing of oxygen, and these points will give you better combustion. Then if you have a better combustion, you will get a higher output, power output of the engine. And what is the supercharging? Basically, the more air and fuel that can be packed in a cylinder, the greater the density of the air is, fuel changes. The method of supplying air or fuel, air mixture, higher than the pressure at which the engine naturally aspirates by means of boosting the device is called the supercharging. Because before sending the naturally aspirated means whatever is the available air, atmospheric temperature, atmospheric pressure, only it vectors to the engine. If you connect to the supercharger, what happens is if you connect to the supercharger, automatically the pressure will be increasing, and temperature will be increasing, and density will be increasing, and mass flow rate will be increasing, and you are giving a boosting to the engine. And the method supplying of air or fuel mixture, air mixture, so higher than the pressure at high, which the engine naturally aspirates by means of a boosting device, is called the supercharging. If you connect the supercharging device, automatically your engine will be suited up the pressure and temperature and density and mass flow rate, and you are going to get a good combustion. If you see these two figures here, if you have a low density, you are seeing the particles distribution, how it will be there in the first figure, and you are going to see the next figure we are having. This is the first figure where you are seeing the particles and all. This will be having low density mixing of the air. Here, if you connect to the supercharger, you are going to get the high density of the air, high density of the fuel, and high density of the pressure and temperature will be distribution of the fuel particles you are going to see. The more air and fuel that can be packed inside the cylinder, the greater the density of the fuel and fuel charge. And you are going to get the good performance of the engine by connecting of the supercharger. And we're going to see these different types of superchargers. And superchargers is present pressure boosting device which supplies the air at a higher pressure. There are three types of superchargers. One is the centrifugal type, and roots type, and vane type. Well, these two are the blowers are available: centrifugal blower, roots blower, and vanes blower. Nothing but blowers will be connected, additionally connected to the inlet manifold of an engine. It is a single cylinder engine. If you have a multi-cylinder engine, any engine can connect to the supercharger. Is the one supercharger is enough to connect to the four-cylinder engine. And if you connect to the supercharger, whatever the charge will be entering from the carburetor or the air through the supercharger, it will be increasing the pressure, temperature, and density and mass flow rate. Will enhances these things. So you have one method will be going to we are use it is a centrifugal type of supercharger, or roots type of supercharger, or a vane type of supercharger. You may be knowing it: centrifugal blower and roots blower and vanes blower. These blowers will be connected to your inlet manifold of your engine, and you are going to improve the thermal efficiency of the engine and getting of the good combustion and complete combustion of the fuel inside the engine. And these are the different types of superchargers. And we are going to have a sliding vane compressor where you have vanes will be there inside, and we are going to have these are the different vanes, and we have a casing will be there, and we have inlet port where the air will be entering here, and through these veins, and we have a small drum will be rotating. You have a small cross section area where you have this is the cross section area where it compresses it, and small area with entering into the big air, and traveling here, and leaving here. When leaving it, you have a narrow passage, and you have a small cross section variation will be there, because of this cross section. This is the air flow area where you are going to flow the air, and you have small while leaving it, you have a small arrangement. There you have compressed pressure, high pressure air. Air is compressed, and this compressed air is going through this outlet port to the inlet manifold, where you are going to have this outlet port, inlet port and outlet port. We are going to see this small cross section area, where through this cross section area, air will be leaving to the inside the combustion chamber. We are going to get the combustion. This is the attachment. We are going to have a single cylinder, where we have shown the previously a figure. There we are in place of the roots blower. We are going roots supercharger. We are going a vane type of supercharger will be connected to the compressor. The next we are going to see about roots blower, where you can see this roots blower. Roots we will be seeing it here, and where we are going to have this is the area where we have roots impellers we are going to have, and roots blower. This is the roots blower design, and this is the how the entering of the air is here. The air is entering here and compressing it through this root blower, and where you have a small rotation. One is in a vertical direction, another one is horizontal direction. The roots will be rotating with a shaft, and because where we are having a narrow passages, because of the entry of the air and passing it to narrow passages, you are going to have increasing of the pressure, and if you is having a homogeneous mixture, this density also will be increasing of the fear and passing of it. And this is the model of a roots blower and vanes blower you are seeing, and centrifugal blower also we are going to see here. This is a centrifugal effect we are going to have, and this is called inlet of the air will be entering here, and this is the outlet where you are going to have this outlet passage. This is the design here, and this design cross section is shown here, and inlet of air will be passing here, and outlet will be here, and this is the centrifugal blower and vanes blower, vanes supercharger, centrifugal supercharger, and roots supercharger. We are going to see three different types of superchargers will be added to petrol engine or diesel engine, spark ignition engine or compression ignition engines. And we have a method of supercharging. Methods of supercharging: independent driven compressor or blower, usually driven by an electric motor. Because anyhow we have in motor cars, lorries, buses, and we have a battery operated things. But initially supercharger will be activated or valves to be operated, and they're having a Bendix drive. Will have the mechanism where the Bendix drive will goes and rotates the Bendix is the scientist who found this mechanism to start the engine. Previously, in olden movies like the Charlie Chaplin movies, you are going to see this opening the bonnet and putting the crankshaft handle, and you are going to rotate manually till the engine will starts. But in nowadays, we have a battery. Battery will be operated to rotate. Battery will be connected to the Bendix drive. Bendix drive will goes to the flywheel and rotates the flywheel, and Bendix drive will have a small mechanism where you have a small weight difference will be there. Whenever initially it goes and Bendix drive and rotates the flywheel, and once the flywheel gets pick up with the engine speed, automatically it slips down and comes back to the original position. And that's why what happens, if you want to start your car, you are going to ignite the switch, and once it is started, you have to remove the come back to the switch to operating of this. Because still if you are holding like that, you will get a lot of disturbance will be coming. It will be objecting, your Bendix drive will be objecting the rotation of the flywheel. That's why what happens, this is a very good mechanism. I hope in third year lab, maybe having the Bendix drive models and all, you can see it, how it will be functioning it and all. And so far, nobody has not invented the new thing. Bendix only who was the starting mechanism. Now they are calling starter drive or the Bendix drive. Whatever the mechanism they are using in your four-wheelers or two-wheelers, the Bendix drive is a good mechanism. Bendix drive, once if you give the ignition, Bendix drive will goes and touches to the flywheel and rotates it. Once the flywheel gets the momentum, camshaft and crankshaft will be functioning automatically because it is having unbalanced weight. It slips down to the speed variations because low speed and high speed will not match. Automatically slips down and comes back to the original position. It's a very good mechanism. You can see in our IC Engine Lab, the model is available and you can see it and sense it and you can feel it good also. And this is called the RAM effect, we call it as under piston supercharging and CANDAC system. Uh, you have engine driven compressor or blower, and once initially the blower or the supercharger will be starting with your engine drive, then later on automatically camshaft and crankshaft will carry out the blower operation for the operating of this. But additional charge, additional power is required to operate your supercharging units, and you will get again power loss will be having, little loss will be there, more combustion will be there in this supercharging method. I hope you understood. The independently driven compressor or blower usually driven by an electric motor, whatever the electric battery is given initially, then later on it will be converted to the crankshaft and have a ram effect. Under piston supercharging, they have CANDAC system and engine driven compressor or blower. And if you go back to the supercharging will have a very good effect to again have a better combustion and high power output thermal efficiency. I'm talking about high power advantage. High power output will be coming from the engine, and if you are having a 50% of efficiency, if you connect to the supercharger, it may be increasing to 60 to 70% also, and more than 80% also. If you have a clean environment and clean energy will be going inside the engine, and oxygen percentage is also more, and fuel quality is also good, and better automation of the fuel will be takes place in diesel engines, and better mixing of air and fuel ratio. I shown the two figures. If you mix it with this and how the density of the fuel pressure, then we have the mass flow rate of the fuel and all, how we will be balancing it for getting of a better combustion, better scavenging of products, better scavenging will be there, and quicker acceleration of vehicle. If you give acceleration, the it quickly moves it instantly. It gets the power to move the vehicle, and more complete and smoother combustion. It will have more complete combustion and smoother operation. I told if you are traveling in a good environment or good this thing, and if you have a good air and you connect a supercharger also, it will be enhances more and more for getting of the good combustion or complete combustion. Because if you have a good combustion or complete combustion, and it automatically reduces the exhaust gases and reduces the exhaust smoke and reduces the specific fuel consumption. It reduces the specific fuel consumption also, and by using of this supercharge. And limitations of supercharging, where you have to connect and how we are going to connect, and increasing the thermal stresses, and increase the heat loss due to turbulence. And because of this connecting of the centrifugal blower or Baines blower or Roots supercharger, increasing the heat losses and due to turbulence, increased gas loading, increased cooling requirement for a piston and valves. Suppose you have the power rating is more and higher, this thing will be there. And getting of the good combustion means good temperature also will develop. Because of the temperature, the internal sleeves will be heated up, liners will be heated up, because increasing the cooling rate. Cooling rate is also required more for maintaining the particular temperature inside the combustion chamber. Greater tendency to burn the piston crown and the seat and edges of the exhaust valves, because of the rapid combustion and good combustion and good temperatures, we may be having greater tendency to burn the piston crown. Pistons will be made with the aluminum and all. If the temperatures will be increasing, and every metal will have their some temperature limitations of their points, and if it exceeds the limiting points, automatically seizing will be taking place. You may be heard about the seizing of the engine. Seizing of the means expansion of the engine because of the high temperatures inside the combustion chamber. Because of that, piston will be having like elastic, it loses the limitations of the thing. Elastic and plasticity will come and automatically it expands it. because of the expansion, piston will be seized up inside the engine. Then you have to remove the piston, you have to remove the liner, and again you have to grind the cylinder block and put the new liner, and the new piston will be added up to the engine, and you're getting up a new life. Again, you are giving a new life to the engine. Once the engine is seized up, you have to remove the all liner and piston, bring it back, and you have to grind it properly inside the cylinder block. And again, more size, piston and cylinder sleeve and piston will be fitted to the sim. And again, because now old days, ambassador cars, most of the engines will be, because that time cooling system is the water cooling system, and reboring or seizing will be happening. Even you may have heard about boring of the vehicle, also maybe heard about bore the vehicle and seizing of the vehicle. These are all the same terms where the having the internal combustion chamber, you have a problem. There, the piston will be expansion or temperature loses their material limits, and automatically it will be expansive, and it may be knowing it's a seizing of the engine. Okay, this once it is seized the engine, you have to remove it, and again you have to grind the cylinder block and fit the oversized cylinder liner and the piston. Next, we are going to talk about the turbocharging. In turbocharging, the supercharging is being driven by a gas turbine, which uses the energy in the exhaust gases. Because you have to have the turbocharging, because you may be turbocharger means you may be having more additional small gas turbine only, driven by a gas turbine type of arrangement, and this energy in the exhaust gases. There is no mechanical linkage between engine and the supercharger. Basically, you have one side you are having a supercharger, another side what you have, whatever the exhaust gases will be left over, thus the exhaust gases will be recirculated. Recirculated means whatever the exhaust air is going like a boiler. The boiler will have the exhaust gases will be passing inside, hot air is passing inside the tube, and cold water will be passing around the tubes, and it will be heated up. Because in this turbocharging unit, we are going to have the hot exhaust gases will be passing uh, inside the exhaust gases will be passing around the tubes, and whatever the fresh air or mixture will be charging through this. After supercharger, the air will be again entering into the turbocharger and heated up because of the exhaust gases temperature, and exposing to the inside the tube air to the exhaust gases, automatically heat exchange will be taking place, and pressure and temperature will increases, and the temperature, air and pressure will be going inside the combustion chamber for getting a very good combustion. There is no mechanical linkage between the engine and supercharger. Basically, we have a supercharger, we have a turbocharger. Turbocharger is meant to increase the temperature of the whatever the gas. Again, we have supercharging air will be pressure and temperature. Already it is having in the supercharger, air will be air pressure is increasing, and in diesel engines we have 70 bar of minimum 70 bar is required for getting of the good combustion, because the fuel injection pump and the fuel injector will automatize the fuel and sending inside of it, and lot of pressure and temperature is required for getting of the combustion. Minimum 70 bar is required. But if it is a petrol engine, the mixture will have automatically spark will be given because of the spark, and you may be knowing if density of the fuel. Petrol is very highly vaporable and all. Diesel engine is more dense of thing, more viscosity, and thickness is more of diesel fuel, and that's why more fuel while going to the fuel injector itself or going to the inlet manifold itself, air to be preheated and pre-pressure will be increasing, and the fuel also will be optimized for getting of the good combustion. This is about the supercharging.
No, we can't hear it. Audio is not coming.
Hello?
Audio is not coming.
Yes. I want to show you the picture. I have explained this thing. No, we have the supercharger, how it looks and how the turbocharger will look in that. Okay. 1 minute, I am trying.
That wastes exhaust gas. Supercharger will not explode a aspirated engine, and then it can't do anything useful with those exhaust gases once they're leaving the engine. Now, manufacturers often take advantage of turbochargers that size their engine so they can still make some horsepower, and it allows them to use a small engine. So when you don't want horsepower, you've got less reciprocating mass, you've got less rotating mass, you've got a smaller engine that's sitting there, whether it's idling or cruising on the highway, and it's taking less energy to do it. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll get better fuel economy when you're flooring it. When you're trying to make peak power, you're going to use a lot of fuel. By downsizing that engine, pulling weight out of the car, using a smaller engine, there's a lot of advantages from a fuel economy standpoint, which is why it's so popular with manufacturers currently. So the biggest advantage of a turbocharger being, of course, it adds power and it does so efficiently. So why might you want to go with a supercharger option? What are the advantages of a supercharger? Well, a supercharger is going to have no lag. It's not dependent on exhaust gases and that turbine shaft as well as the bearings within the turbo. Getting into a bunch of different press cars, I would have told you that I prefer turbochargers, and I would have told you that because they are so much more efficient. And I think that makes a lot of sense. From a logical standpoint, turbochargers make a ton of sense. They're good today in which you can get very little lag. You can get wide RPM ranges of effective areas with different technologies like twin scroll turbos, variable geometry turbos. So there's cool technology out there that kind of reduces their drawbacks. But after having driven a bunch of the different vehicles out there, and after having driven many turbocharged and supercharged vehicles, what I find is that I find superchargers far more enjoyable. And the reason is because there's zero lag. And so when you put your foot down, you get exactly what you ask for. And I think the thing that you come to appreciate after you start to drive a bunch of different vehicles out there is having a throttle pedal that does exactly what you ask it to do. So with the supercharger, you get 50%, you get 50%, and your pedal does exactly what you're asking of it in real time. With a turbocharged car, you can take that pedal, mash it quick, and nothing's going to happen at all because it doesn't have enough time to spool up that throttle pedal. So you mash it in, the amount of torque that you get, it doesn't correlate perfectly with where you positioned it with respect to time. So I think that's the big difference is that pedal, you could be all over the place with your foot, and the response that you're getting in the wheels as far as torque is also all over the place and not matching it versus a supercharger. As you're changing that position of the throttle pedal, you're getting that change immediately. So it's responding exactly how you ask it to, and that response makes you feel really good. So me personally, I have enjoyed more driving supercharged cars rather than driving turbocharged cars. That said, there are many great turbocharged cars out there that do a job of back the throttle very consistently, making it seem like there's not a huge amount of lag, that there's not a huge torque discrepancy depending on where you're putting your foot on that pedal. So I like the way that some cars out there have done it. Just overall, from a feel perspective, I feel like superchargers are more fun to drive. So thank you all for watching, and of course feel free to check out the many different types of superchargers and turbochargers. I will include links in the video description. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below.
Hello friends.
Hello, sir.
Okay, today we are wind upping. Okay. Hello.
Okay, sir.
I will give some problems assignment in the two-stroke engines. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And, okay. Okay, well, for today I am leaving it. Okay. Okay, guys.